Record on this. All right, thank you, Carlos Gonzalez. You're here with me on my personal Zoom channel, and I've asked you to come on for a personal training. You're my Kangen mentor. You're way up in the Kangen distribution system. I'm getting up there, 5A. Remind me what your rank in a Nagic is.
6A23, and I have another position that's a 6A32. That's going to go 2-3 pretty soon. And then I got another position that just went 6A3. So got a few positions.
Thank you for sharing. So the reason why I specifically reached out to you is they say success leaves clues. And if you want to be the average of the 5 people, then you have to pick the right 5 people. And you're definitely one of the 5. You've achieved things in your company that I have yet to achieve, but it's on my list of goals. And that's mind, body, spirit, also financial. So that's what we were talking about before I hit record, was financial health and wellness. Mine is not very well. I've increased my spiritual health, but my financial health is still lacking. So I appreciate what you were offering, and that's why I asked you for me to press record. Where do you want to start? I know you kind of introduced your rank, but do you mind sharing a little bit more about yourself for people who might be
Listen,
watching?
I'm just an average guy that didn't agree with, going to work 9 to 5. I only have to wear a suit and tie like once every, year at a corporate event, maybe. I don't mind that stuff. It's just not who I am. I'm more of a tank top and flip flops kind of guy. And I just believed in freedom. I just always did. My parents were self-employed. I come from a long line of self-employed people. So that was kind of my background. But I really want to jump into, Dave, with what you said, because my story's not that unique. I just got aligned with the right company, and I got myself aligned with, the right people, like you're doing and like you've done. And so, now I'm in a brand new phase 2 in my own development, even though I've been with an Anagic, which, many of you may or may not have heard about. You'll probably see it all online. It's just basically the best offer online right now. It's the best home-based business there is within direct sales or network marketing. And it's the most powerful way for us to really leverage ourselves because the company is so solid. We've been around going on. We're going to celebrate 50 years this next year. We're Japanese based, high level of integrity, and then the product and the technology and the water speaks for itself. And so, Dave, I just want to tell you, I've admired you and followed you now through your own health journey, which I want to shift this back from a little bit of financial talk to your health talk, because I understand that while you're not yet where you want to be financially with a Anagic and in your own personal abundance, your journey to greater abundance, you've created abundance in your life through your spiritual walk and your health. So when I met you many years ago, more than 5 years ago, probably more like 8 years ago, you were a heavier set guy. So talk to us a little bit about what shifted with you with your health. You discovered the water around that same time, what you've been doing to help others, because I've been admiring you and watching you online, passionately share about the health technology, the health benefits, not only of the water, but of juicing and other things. You do sound baths, variety of meditations. You're very much a God guy, like I am, a Christ guy. So tell me a
Yep.
little bit about your path.
Right. So before Kangen Water, I was a caregiver. Professionally, I had a care home for adults with physical and mental disabilities, and also that includes Alzheimer's and dementia. And they lived with me in my home. And don't get me wrong, I didn't work from home. It's not like a Nagic where you have a home-based business. I lived at work, and it
Right.
was 24 hours, 7 days a week. I had caregivers come in so I can leave and go do grocery shopping or doctor's appointments. But I was the guy and I did all of the work, but also I neglected to take care of myself the whole time. And I had just barely enough to give to others, but not enough for myself. And that took its toll. It was, now what I say, it was a withdrawal from my health bank account, and I was overdrafted and then bankrupt. So right around that time, Denise, my aunt, she invested in an Enagic water ionizer and started sharing water with me. I started using it for my care home, noticed the difference, and that's when my life changed. So at that time, I was over 325 pounds. I had a
Yeah.
herniated disc in my lower back. I was in chronic pain from the back injury, and then insomnia, depression, which eventually turned to suicide ideologies. And I almost pulled the trigger, but also right around that time, I learned that I was going to become a father. And so my daughter's 6 years old, and my love for my daughter awakened my love for my heavenly father, and I had a spiritual awakening. And before, I was a caregiver, but I was more of a caretaker. And now I feel genuinely connected to the caregiver role, whereas I'm giving more than I'm taking. However, fast forward now to this current day, that whole entire time where I was able to do all of that hard work was at my aunt's juice bar in Bandon, where she basically gave me free range to do whatever I needed to do for myself. And then in the process, I was able to eventually start helping others. And that's how that whole wellness protocol developed, with the sound therapy and the frequencies. And Kangen water was the foundation for my protocol. And now it's still the foundation for what we promote at the juice bar. And on September 5th of this year, this last September that passed, was our 5th year anniversary. And I separated myself from the juice bar because I felt like I was losing myself again, like I did prior. And I knew that I was becoming a caretaker, and I wasn't really a caregiver. And since I made the decision to separate from the juice bar, a lot of the mistakes that I've made have come to bite me in the butt, if you will. But also, these are learning experiences that I've received, and this is like classroom time that I would have not been able to attend had I not go through these humbling experiences. But like you mentioned, so much has changed that if I want things to continue to change, then I have to be open to the changes. And right now, there's significant changing that is happening in my world. I know I have to do internal changing in order for me to keep up with the external changes. And
Well,
that's
and I want to jump in there. I really know that you've done the internal stuff. It's just going to be about a mindset. And so for people that are listening in, thank you for listening in. This is a powerful, powerful thing, because Dave, you got to remind yourself that what you're talking about roughly affects about 87% of the population right now on planet Earth. Okay, there's only about 13% of the population that is doing what we would consider better than average or well, in terms of that, like in terms of the mind, and not the mind, but in terms of the financial success that you're talking about, in the freedom. Most people are either over leveraged, right, and they're overworked, they're time poor, and they're health poor. Okay, and because of that, their spirit is getting crushed. So the fact that you do have freedom today, you do have this spiritual health. What we're going to work on, and what we're going to talk a lot about, we'll probably do a series of these videos. So we're going to talk about mindset, right? And how we can just really, by a few subtle things, get some clarity and get some openings here, so that when you're out and doing what you do, which is your desire to help people. I'm a health guy too, that the other stuff is happening as a result of what you're doing, because you don't have those blocks, right? That who knows if they're yours? This could come from your grandfather or your great grandfather, or who knows, right?
Oh
But
yeah,
it's
I
our
agree.
job to heal those, right? It's our job to actually to correct those. So
Yes, I agree. And I've talked about that multi-generational healing. And like, for anybody, when your grandma was pregnant with your mom, you were there on a cellular, energetic, quantum level. So everything that grandma went through during her pregnancy, and mom went through during her life, and now you are the sum total of all of that. And it's not, the pain wasn't our responsibility, but the healing most certainly is. And I know that that's what I promote in my life personally, and in my Kangen business. I'm just not finding people who have been committed to doing the hard work. I'm
Well,
looking
that's what this
for.
is about. This is, we're gonna definitely use this as promotion that we are, we're looking, I'll tell you right now, I'm looking for between 1 and 4 people that want to join me on the best ride of their life, wherever they are, whether they're 25 or 55, whether they're burned out or whether they're excited about and jived about life, but really want to join, the movement that we're about. And so that's what you're looking for, Dave. You're looking for, right, 1 to 4 people that really want to join you in how, learning how to leverage themselves, automate their lives, get their mindset right, experience what real healing is, which is a spiritual journey,
Yeah.
and to have that mental, physical, and financial health. And so the fact that you have the mental and physical health, Dave, the financial health is coming, my friend. You can't do it the other way around. It'll go away, right? If you don't have the mental health and the physical health, the financial, the money doesn't matter. So, yeah, I'm really excited to be working with you again, and I'm glad we're doing this call.
So the question that I have for you though is in terms of mindset, do you look at money as a resource I mean, how did you change your mentality about money from lack and limitation to abundance? Was it a shift in
So
perspective?
so in perspective, because I've kind of done my story is a little bit backwards, where I dove into personal development without really developing the spiritual life I have today. So I built a business on top of not really being well spiritually, and still not have healed a lot of the things, like I've gone through addictions and other things, that I'm free of today, So I had to kind of put the brakes on my business for several years, and because I knew I really needed, I knew I could heal. I knew that healing was possible. I knew that spiritual health was possible. I saw people have it in their life. So I really went on a journey in terms of being a healed healer, right? Rather than, an
Wounded
unhealed
healing.
healer, which is
Well,
fine. I mean, most healers are unhealed because it's part of their path, right? The journey. So the question about, money is energy first and foremost. It's a frequency, and so if love is the highest frequency maybe in all the universe, I guess most people would agree to that, then money is definitely below that. Money could be considered a low frequency, but it is a frequency. And so how do I align? How do I clear myself? How do I get rid of my limiting beliefs? Whatever the story I have about money, whatever the story my grandmother had, maybe you come from a family where they starved or suffered through world wars, who knows, right? And so how do I help that frequency repair itself, right? Well, the very first thing is I have to put myself around people that have a good frequency and energy about themselves and about finances, right? So I don't envy people that have money. I don't admire people that have money. I'm fans of people that have created great things, that I feel like they have good integrity about them. And I pay attention to kind of what they do, and I try to do some of the things that they do, um and I also don't drag a lot of my past around. I'm one of those people that practices meditation. I practice conscious awareness. I practice centering myself. I practice breath work. I'm physically active. I'm in incredible physical shape. I'm pain free today. I focus on good rest, good nutrition, good hydration, good prayer, good meditation. And then I do the actual physical work that's required in any industry to produce specific results. But I'm not attached to the results. The results come as a result of doing X, Y, and Z. It's not rocket science. But I had a story inside me for a while. I don't know, that maybe I couldn't learn a new skill. Many of you could be thinking that if you're on this call, or maybe I didn't have the wherewithal to be able to really market myself online, or maybe I didn't have the knowledge or the ability to learn how to really do, automated sales funnels, but all of that's gone. You know what I mean? But I had those blocks for years and years and years up until recently. So what happened? Well, what happened was I got myself back into personal development. and doing it legitimately. Like, you can do personal development, right? You can listen to someone and go, that's a nice idea. Or you can go, no, I'm going to write the 13 letters I needed to write to myself and to others and really clear my relation. And they were all around finances or money, right? I'm going to create a schedule. I'm going to account. I'm going to reverse engineer my life. I went five quarters forward, and then you reverse engineer each month and each week, and then each day. So I account for 168 hours a week in my schedule. Now, that doesn't mean I'm married to it. It means that I have accountability, in my scheduling. So I know where, and when I have spare time or time that I'm not being productive, I know exactly where to pick up and what to be doing. So some simple things like that. I had created a lot of wealth, and through like the teachings of Abraham, and through deliberate creation, and through other exercises, through landmark education and dream boards and a lot of that stuff. But again, I hadn't done the spiritual work. So I miscreated a lot because it was ego driven and ego based. And I suffered the consequences of that. So I was almost like resistant to, because I didn't know what I wanted, Dave. So this time around, when I went through the course and they're telling me to create dream boards, and they're telling me to create vision boards and to get my goals right and my financial goals, I needed to be told what my financial goal needed to be based off my rank and where I was within Magic. I was cool with that. Okay, boom, mind shifted, right? I'm going to help you do the same thing with you, where you should be at for your, where you're at as a 5A in your business. But when I went into the dream boards and started to recreate my life this time, it was not this weird experience. It was effortless. It was so easy, because the first one I did was my spiritual health, right? And then I did some financial health, and I did some relationship, because I'm single right now, right? What's my ideal partner, And then I did my lifestyle, and they were so different, so different 13 years later from when I did that back in 2011, 2010, 2011. And then I did it again in 2015 and 16. And it was just, I don't even know where those are, thankfully, right? Like, I don't even know where those, but I had some flashes like, this is different. So, yeah.
Well, I'm glad that you were able. So I say that like we build faith with resistance over time, just like we build muscles with resistance over time. If we avoid the resistance, then we are avoiding the results.
Yeah.
And right now, I also use an analogy like if you're sharpening a sword on the big stone wheel, like in the medieval times. I used to shy away in fear. Now I lean in faith because I'm being honed for something very specific. And I don't argue anymore once the honing process begins. I'm grateful for the sharpening. And to be able to reach out to you and say, hey, Carlos, I'm going through some struggles right now. I really need a mentor. Can you hop on a Zoom? And I would appreciate it if we can record it. And you did not even hesitate. So I'm very grateful for you. And you've put in the work for yourself, and you're not done, because the work is never done.
It's
And
never done.
I've put in the work for myself, but I'm not done. And I feel like I'm just barely scratching the surface. So to be in perfect alignment with you in this present moment right now, Carlos, it does feel like a blessing, because nothing happens for no reason. And I'm grateful to have you in my corner as a friend and as a mentor. And I do appreciate you for sharing
And you're
your
going to share a
personal.
lot with me, the spiritual path we need. We're brothers, right? And brothers need brothers. And we get, by giving we receive, right? And what we give is that, that whole giving and that tithing. It's the way that I've heard it best interpreted is this. See, David, I'm going to hold you in the light, right? I'm going to hold you in the light that I know you are, which is the ultimate form of charity. See, because I know your greatness, and I know what you're capable of. And I know that you just have a couple small little blocks around finances, right? And I know you're a good leader, and I know you love people, and I know that you know how to, you're a caregiver, right? You know how to, but like, you're going to do that on a whole new level, right? You're not going to, rather than maybe trying to save a sick person, you're going to help someone who's really hungry get really, really well, right? in all of those areas we talked about. And that's what I'm committed to doing too, So if you're out there and you are looking for some great people to partner with, you're looking for a spiritual path that's going to lead you to at least having the freedom, right? We live in a physical world. We have physical needs. We have financial needs. But if you're going to, but if you really want to have the freedom to be able to be fit in all the areas of your life that are important to you and help others do the same, definitely direct message Dave. It's a 2-in-1 package. You get Dave, you get me. And we're going to help Dave get to 6A. You're going to watch him go on his journey, and then 6A2 and beyond. So it's going to be a fun ride. And man, I love you very much.
Thank you very much. And also, we're taking my friend Rennie Bray with us too.
Oh, yeah,
He's my
absolutely.
favorite friend, and he's helped motivate me. And it's supposed to be the other way around. So we
No.
help each other. I say a rising tide lifts all ships, and a calm sea never made a skilled sailor. So I mean, great place to be is out on the water.
Well, I am enlightened to be able to have an opportunity to be with you. I feel your energy and I feel your love. And so, yeah, man, you're going to help me as much as I'm going to help you, or maybe more, man, so cool. Well, we'll leave this call short.
Yep, thank
Have an
you.
awesome holiday weekend. Send me the recording when you have this done. I'll send it to my team
Yep,
because
thank
it'll be
you.
inspiring. And then we're going to have a call every Monday at 10 a.m. Pacific time. I'll invite you, and that's just a 15 to 20-minute check-in call. It went a half hour on Monday. I meant to invite you. I apologize, I didn't. But we just did one. We had maybe 25 people on the call, and everybody's excited. And it's just basically a little accountability, a little motivation on a Monday to get into action. And those are all recorded. So I'll send you the recording
Thank you.
later today of Monday's call.
Thank you. I appreciate you very much, Carlos, and I'll look
Awesome.
forward to seeing you next time.
All right.
All right,
Take
take
care.
care.